Hey guys, welcome back. It's time. We haven't done one of these in a little while. We got the old Reddit advice. For some reason, a lot of the Reddit threads that I came across today have been people buying collections, buying, opening, that kind of thing. But it'll be fun nonetheless. We got to take a little scammer break. I got a lot of investigating to do. I got a lot of assembling to do. So yeah, we're being a little bit lazy today. But at the same time, I think it's fun to go back and do these. We got to do something positive every now and then. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, Rattle, oh, you're the negative guy in the hobby. No, we're trying to get rid of the negative aspects of the hobby on the channel here. But we got to remember, we got to switch it up. We gotta look at the bright side sometimes. We got to look at the people that are doing good, the collectors, the people that are out there looking for information, and that's what this is. So buckle up, baby. Now, first post here we have by Dicker's Auntie. Interesting username. I'm not sure what it means exactly, but here it is. We have the double Iono. I always talked about this being a thing, potentially being a thing. I guess it's possible because they're in two different slots. You could get the full art Iono and the SIR Iono in one pack. Now, I know we don't have video footage of this being open, so we don't know what happened for sure, but I'd like to think that someone's being honest here, and they're not just doing this for upvotes and cool comments and back pats on the internet. This would be absolutely wild to get these two in one pack. Again, the odds of doing so, very slim. And either one not incredibly difficult to pull. Scarlett and Violet, what was it, Paldea and Paldea? So yeah, the IRs I think are the biggest struggle in the old Paldea. It took me a very long time to get the Iono, but I mean, sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't hit them. That's just how it works sometimes. Talking, looking at you, Moonbrion, you little slimy fox cat dog. Now, very cool, very cool. I don't know what's going on. And a lot of people picking up, buying some like collections and or like flea market find, I guess in this case. So we're gonna take a look at that. You have to, if you're buying collections or if you're buying just a box full of Pokemon cards, you have to be a little bit weary. Here where they bought it for $15. I mean, yeah, you can risk it for the biscuit. It's $15, whatever, right? It turns out it worked out for them. But again, at a flea market, typically, I would think anyone selling Pokemon cards, if it's something that if they have other game stuff, that they're probably going to look up the value of whatever they have. If it's just someone that's like selling their kid's stuff, or some kid that's like selling his old collection, or something like that, where it's not necessarily someone that's always reselling Pokemon cards. Even people on eBay will create kind of a fake or elusive auctions to make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm selling my childhood binder collection. I don't really know what they're worth, guys. Oopsie doopsie. But in reality, you go back and look at their sales history, and they've been selling Pokemon cards for years. So they're just trying to kind of bait you with a listing that looks like it could be a good find. But again, we're probably some okay stuff in here. It depends too. They might have pulled all the hits out if it's somebody that's reselling, or somebody, they might have had a binder and this is just a bulk left over from it. But we'll take a look through. We got some interesting stuff here. We got the Charizard Evolutions sleeves, some figurines. Again, some people like the figurines. Personally, I can't. I have too many English cards to collect. I don't have room for figurines. I say that, but I have like a jillion figurines that hopefully someday somebody will want an excess of figurines from all the figurine collections that I've opened. Now we have picked up this box for $15. So we got the reverses still in there. That's a good sign. We got a Chansey from Evolutions. Very cool. Very cool. So everything through like from Generations and Evolutions. So we get a little bit of like a specialty set collector here going on. Neat. We got Gengars. We got an Entei, at least. The old reverse Entei. 3/4 art. I don't know if they have an official name for those or not, but I don't know. I just call them like 3/4 arts. Kind of a cool thing. Wasn't overly appreciated at the time. I don't think I remember anyone saying like, oh man, those 3/4 arts are banging. but it could be also that there were some of those that were just like commons and uncommons, so you saw them pretty often. We got a Pikachu EX. Okay, all right, we're getting back to the value, the $15 value. Oh, and there we go. It looks like we did not. And again, lucked out a little bit here that this wasn't somebody that like picked through a collection and just tossed a bunch of bulk in the boxes there. If you like the boxes, I mean, the boxes are pretty cool. You have those like ETBs or whatever kind of things, like the extended, the long boy ETBs, specialty set ETBs that are a little bit longer. Those are kind of nice to have. Pretty cool. But yeah, this was an all around win. We got a Mew full art. We got a Mewtwo full art. Tina and the Zapdos. The Zapdos is really cool. It's a shame that the other birds didn't get one. But yeah, pretty good. And a couple Charizards here. Yeah, you did good. You did damn good. I'm assuming, it's probably hard to tell from the pictures, but I'm assuming that everything here is the real deal. Man, if you ended up with the secret Charizard there from Flashfire, you would be pooping your absolute pants. But again, your $15, you got that back several times. Good deal. And again, very low risk. But if someone was like, oh yeah, it's $100 or something like that, you gotta be a little bit careful. Maybe you want to like look through the cards real quick, if they allow you to do so. If they don't allow you to do so, you probably have to be a little bit concerned. But yeah, even the ETBs, the generation, like, not ETBs, but it was part of this like premium collection. These boxes, the card storage boxes, are pretty cool. So I'm sure people would like that. So, and, you know, that was safe. It was good. It worked itself out. It paid off. You did it. Way to go. We got another one here. Found this brick at a garage sale and came out with these. Okay, so again, typically good to ask whoever's selling this stuff where it came from. And yes, they can lie to you and say that it's like somewhere else. I don't know. They don't say how much they paid for it. This being like vacuum sealed is, you know, typically people aren't doing that unless it's like some mom that's selling a collection for a kid or something like that, that just doesn't like Pokemon anymore. Eventually they will like Pokemon again. So usually, if I'm ever talking to anyone who's just like, hey, you probably make sure that they hold on to that stuff. They're going to want it when they're an adult. It's going to suck. It's going to turn into that story of like, oh, I used to have Pokemon cards, but my mom sold them, or I sold them in a garage sale so that I could buy a cap gun or something. Do kids still play with cap guns? Probably not. All right, we got Ray, Bayleaf, and a Raichu. So a Japanese Raichu. So like this one's a little weird, right? So garage sale, brick of cards. You got old stuff. This is Bayleaf. Pretty cool. Again, we don't know how much they paid for this. We got EX era, we got Watsy, and we got all as very much as what is this, SB2, the Raichu, Paldea Japanese Raichu. So like, this is clearly someone that is opening modern product probably, and or bought some Japanese singles and put them in here. It's a whole weird thing. So this is the kind of thing where clearly this person knows what they're selling, knows what they're doing here, and probably is just like making a little bit extra money. Maybe they just want to get rid of some extra stuff. Usually mystery packs and stuff like that, you got to expect there's some reason that somebody's doing a mystery pack, whether to clear out stuff that they don't want to sell individually, or something of the sort. Bundle style, that, or they're gonna make a bunch of money off of, you know, the contents not being worth what they're supposed to be. They're trying to take advantage of the gamble premium. Now, bought my first Facebook Marketplace lot, $90. What do you guys think? First gander here, it's looking pretty good. I don't think you're running all the way to the bank with all your attendees that you just won or that you just picked up for free. But it looks pretty good. We got the Typhlosion, very cool. And condition looking pretty decent. We got the old Mega Charizard evolutions. Goodness, evolutions. Seen so much evolutions. I still need a ton of variants from evolutions, which is going to be a pain. We got the Rayquaza XY73 XY promos. Man, I'm still missing a bunch of XY promos. Condition is going to be not fun on those. There's a lot of them that had the tabs of death that were holding them in. to the plastic like retainer clips or whatever that held the cards in. And they got a little dents. Also a lot of whitening that you kind of see straight from the pack. You can see here that there is a little bit of wear and tear that probably was not from, straight from the pack. Probably a little bit played with. Thunder is full there. All right. Again, this is definitely not as good of a pickup as the $15 one was. Definitely a big boy, awesome find. This one still for $90. I mean, you get a lot of good stuff. We get a little bit of wear and tear on the back side of the Espeon. I think the hyper rare Espeon and Umbreon from Sun and Moon base are a little bit underrated. I think largely due to the fact that there was just so much Sun and Moon base that was printed, and it was available for such like an insane amount of time. There wasn't the set wasn't that big, especially compared to the end of Sun and Moon, or the like Sword and Shield sets. A lot of the Sword and Shield sets. I mean, it seems like it kind of starts out that way with most generations, and then they're just like harder to pull everything. Although we got a weird little scenario here with Scarlet and Violet, where we went from Scarlet and Violet was like achievable for somebody that's opening a disgusting amount of product like myself, like less than 3 cases. Then Paldea, 3 cases and still missing quite a few cards. Too many IRs with like 3 Japanese sets combined, essentially. Like triple the amount of IRs essentially that you'd have in something like the Obsidian Flames that we just had. And Obsidian Flames, just a few packs short, or a few packs less than 2 cases for me to finish that. And I mean, could have been finished earlier, could have taken more than that, but a very easy set to complete. Sun and Moon base, probably also pretty easy to complete. I didn't open it to completion, so I'm not sure, but again, not bad. We got a little bit of WotC sprinkled in there, so weird, similar to like the last lot that we looked at, where we had that stuff going on. Now we have, I guess we didn't read off the names. We got ATM 0, and we got Take Me 503. Oh my goodness! When she takes you, that's what she says. Take Me 503. All right, we have a Pokemon Rumble. Found these in the cupboard earlier. Nostalgia of playing Pokemon Rumble as a kid hit like a truck. This is like one of those things that, as somebody that's been collecting Pokemon cards or back into collecting Pokemon cards for a while, the things that would be discussed would be like, how long is it going to be before someone's like, hey, I remember Pokemon Rumble. I'm sure I've heard this conversation like 3 or 4 times at least. People being like, yeah, how long is it going to take before people come back? And kids are like, oh, remember Pokemon Go when it came out? Or remember Pokemon Rumble? This stuff that's like associated with a game, or like Detective Pikachu, that kind of stuff like that. It's weird. And here it is. Here it is, guys. Are you feeling old yet? Because we're at the stage where people are nostalgic about Pokemon Rumble cards. Mind's blown? No. Anyway, Pokemon Rumble. Yes, there was a set of cards that were available. This was like a one and done. If you had the product, you had every single card that was in there. I think there's a Mew and Mewtwo that are more expensive, on the more expensive end of things. I'm sure there's a Pikachu as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, if you bought one, you got them all in the product. So you might want to keep checking the cupboard, unless somebody you traded them away or something when you were a kid. Then those should be in there somewhere too, or unless those ones got thrown out, which would kind of suck. I'm sure like the Ninetales is probably a little bit, and the Lucario maybe a little bit of a like fan favorite. But yeah, you want the Mew and the Mewtwo, and probably the Pikachu, which has to exist, right? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure it does. Now we have Douchey Dave, Formula Sky with that. Douchey Dave with this. Please, guys, for the love of God, do not buy these. Do not buy these, guys. I know your favorite YouTuber is just gagging on this shit day and night. He's making videos about it. She's making videos about it. Whoever's making videos about it, yes. People love to see somewhat weird excitement. They love to see them open 65 of these fuckers just to get one vintage pack or whatever they promise within there. So, no, mystery packs, mystery anything is typically not a good idea. Typically, it's people trying to get rid of stuff. That is exactly what this product is. It's them trying to get rid of stuff. And you got the extra short end. Yes, you got an Evolving Skies, so like that probably helps a little bit. But they're even sticking trick or trade packs in here. Like that's some slimy stuff. You notice they don't advertise the fact that you can get a trick or trade pack on the packaging itself, right? Anyway, they're overpriced. Typically, the people that I see buying this stuff are the ones that are, they're watching the big Poke Tubes. Oh my God, Daddy Leonhardt, he opened one of these and he got a vintage pack in it. And well, yeah, he also got a Candela. Got a Candela out of a product as well. So like, I don't know. This is another one of those things. If you see people buying these, just like tell them not to. Just buy something that you want. Save up for whatever you want. If there's certain packs that you want, there's products that contain those packs. Yeah, I don't. Or if there's like a vintage pack that you really want, save up for the vintage pack. Preferably buy it from somewhere reputable, so you don't have to worry about it. That's it. That's my advice on this. Stay away from these. Stay away from mystery packs in general. These are like, I don't know if you want to call them like a regulated or like more official, where they're being sold at stores and stuff like that. I don't think they should even be allowed to. Just because like, man, some of this stuff is dirty. There's a lot of the repacks too that's like, oh, 20 cards plus 1 foil, and it's like 20 just bulk garbage that they packaged into this thing. And one like a reverse comment or something. Like it's bad. It's all bad. Do not do it. Not worth it. Spend your money on something else. Unless you hate money, then just by all means just go to town on this. Like this could have been way worse too if the Evolving Skies wasn't in there. Like if that was like any other Sword and Shield set, if it was like a Vivid Voltage or something. I don't know what's the cheapest pack of Sword and Shield. Maybe some of the new stuff that's like still very available. Although a lot of the new stuff is more expensive. All right, me for a Twaffle. What is with the usernames today? It says, I got lucky with a Goodwill find. You found this. Paid $71 total after shipping and handling for a lot from Goodwill with muddy pictures and crossed my fingers. Many of the cards showed up beat, bent, and worn. Yeah, that's kind of to be expected. Usually the Goodwill stuff is probably just like some kids that opened some packs and tossed them in a box and their parents were like, oh, see ya, Goodwill time. Also, I'd be a little bit concerned that a lot of the stuff is picked through a little bit by the employees, so be careful with that as well. Unfortunately, including a tag team Garchomp and Giratina, but thankfully a couple of the better cards arrived in near mint condition, including a Galarian Moltres V and a 2019 McDonald's promo Pikachu. All right, so Galarian Moltres, near mint might be a stretch. Oh, no, yeah, the bag looks pretty clean. Maybe it's just the lighting on this corner here, but it looks like there's something going on here on the top right. All right, Pikachu, Confetti Boy. So I think you're kind of lucky that I don't know if you could see the Moltres in the pictures from the listing, but if you couldn't, you were risking it for the biscuit. I love these cards. The Octillery is probably very cheap, but still, I purchased one of these recently to complete my set. I don't know. I like these gold cards. They're shiny Pokemon. They're gold. I mean, everyone like boners their dog to the extreme for Hidden Fates, which were like full art shinies. Why not these? Is it because the background? It's got the gold background too. Plus they're playable cards. I guess the Pokemon are not as popular. They're not Gen 1 Octillery. No one's really lining up to stick their dick in an Octillery that they should be. Look at the shape of it, but they're not. Haxorus. Oh no, we're getting into showing hollows off. Salamence. All right, Dragon Majesty. SM193, the old alt art promo card. Not bad. I'm not sure where the damage is that we're looking at here. Is this stuff supposed to be whatever it is? Regardless, it's a cool card. It'll still be a nice binder copy. If I'm having a hard time picking out exactly, this must be crease is what's going on here. It'll probably be easier to see on the backside or like in real life if you're removing the card around. Regardless, still a nice binder copy. The old Garchomp and Tina. Now, we have, again, guys, look into stuff. Ask some questions before you buy stuff. If you need to ask questions, join my Discord. Get in there. Come on in. Ask some questions. Be a little bit humble. Don't be a smart ass if you're gonna ask some questions. No question is stupid. Everyone's gonna start somewhere. Just like this person here, Kaze, who says, I bought it because I have never seen this card. What's the 60 Charizard icon for? These are the Battle Academy decks. So you get one every single time with the Battle Academy. I don't know how much the first Battle Academy is worth at this point in time. I have one that I still need to break down. I don't know if these will be like in a separate binder or whether I'm going to put these in with the other stuff. Maybe a separate binder. I feel like they probably should be. I don't know yet. I still have them. I just need to break them down, put them in wherever they're going. But I don't know. I think it's a cool product. This is what I always recommend if someone's like, oh yeah, I want to start like playing the card game with my kids and or anyone that's starting out. Awesome product, especially for kids. They've been like $10 or something for the second one. They got really cheap. The first one also I think was pretty cheap at one point in time. Very printed, very available, very discounted at one point in time. Probably still is, at least the second one. And an awesome product. It comes with 3 decks. It comes with everything you need to play the game, instructions on how to learn, and all of the cards are very there's no like complicated abilities or anything like that on the card, so it's a good like way to start out, learn how to play the game, and then as you kind of master or learn that first stage of things, then you can move on to the other stuff. It's an awesome product. I think it did what it was supposed to. I think it's great that it was very available, and even to the point that it's overly available, fine, because then people can pick it up even in the future. I'm sure they'll probably come out with more of these. Whether or not they will be in abundance like the last one's different story. So I just hope that this person didn't pay too much for this Charizard. Again, there's one in the product, but if you can get the product for, I don't know if they're like $10-20 at this point. Again, the first one, now that it's probably a little bit less available, might be a little bit more expensive, but the second one is very available. There's just no Charizard in it. All right, we got Brushing Your Teeth Pays Off. We got the Gengar VMAX, very nice. Careful with the little the tin edges and stuff going on here. If you're gonna open cards, even if it's on the road, even if it's in the car, make sure you got some kind of sleeves or something with you in case you pull something crazy like a Gengar VMAX Altar. A very cool card, love it. If you guys haven't seen it or want to unsee it, or will want to unsee it, Gengar is. This is like a POV of Snorlax's belly, Gigantamax Snorlax's belly, and Gengar is giving his tummy the lick down. You will never forget that. Again, same trees. Go check out the artwork for the Snorlax VMAX. Was stressing out about a dentist appointment all week after not having been in 3 years, but after a surprisingly painless visit, I went on and got myself a small $10 tin. Comes out a dud ES pack and a Gengar VMAX. You did good. Awesome job. Good job brushing your teeth. Good job going to the dentist. Good job pulling the Gengar. You did it. You had a good day. Yeah, so again, didn't buy the mystery pack. Do not buy the mystery pack. Buy a couple tins. Grab a couple tins. Again, and then if you're not buying it in person, typically you can get a better deal on the stuff if you go online to places like PSA Pikachu, if you're in the US, or dosecards.ca if you're in Canada. Ooh, does this look familiar, guys? Is this exactly what Rattle uses? Well, not the I don't use the clear. The clears, they're pretty cool. I mean, depends on what you're going for. I don't think you can use the clear in a deck legally. I mean, if you're just playing with friends, you probably can. They probably won't care. Uncle Jafar says, is this generally what people use to double sleeve if they also want to play with semi-valuable cards? Yes, oftentimes people will use either KMCs or a lot of people like Dragon Shields. So it might be worth it if you're building decks to try out some different stuff. We'll tell you right now, these are perfect fits. Be careful with the perfect fits more than the outer sleeves. The outer sleeves are going to be more, up to whether or not you like the feel of them, the way they shuffle, that kind of thing. So try them out before you like all of a sudden sleeve 45 decks or something like that. If you know anyone that has them already, give them a whirl, give them a feel. Make sure that you like them before you start sleeving up everything. Again, you can just buy one pack of each. and you'll be able to sleeve up a deck and see how it goes. But this is what I use. The KMC Perfect Fits. Don't even think about it. Don't even buy them as a temporary solution. Just get the KMC Perfect Fits. I think the Dragon Shield ones are also good, according to people. I've never touched or used them. KMC Perfect Fits, always the right size. Always, they got a little bit of stretch to them, so that they're not going to, you're not going to feel like you're damaging the card putting it in there. You still have to be careful putting it in, taking it out. Do not use Perfect Fits if you're not going to use an outer sleeve. This is what I store stuff in my binder with. It doesn't matter if it's the most valuable card in my collection or the least. It doesn't matter if it's a common, whatever. From the newest set that no one wants, that you couldn't even give away. Perfect Fits, KMC. There's links down below to these, and also if you're in the Discord, there's a links, codes, deals section that will have links to these if you want to buy them on Amazon or anywhere else that sells them. You can buy them on Amazon in the US or Canada, but also you can get them on Amazon Japan if they don't have some for some reason. Again, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, and it usually works out to around the same price, so you might as well just buy it on Amazon. I use the black ones. But this is what I use for my decks and for storing my cards. And then put those in a Dex protection binder. Links to those are also down below. You can go on the Dex website itself, located in the US, and you can use code Rattle Pokemon 15. Check that to be sure. Pretty sure that's what it is, and you can get 15% off. They have other accessories too, like deck boxes and different binders with zippers and all that fun stuff. I don't use the zipper binders. I think it's kind of overkill, and I don't know. I have them like sleeved in cardboard to keep the dust off the binders themselves. All right, we have a long one here by Seeker94, who says, looking for advice on what to buy to get into the game. Hey everyone, I don't know if this is the right place to post this, but I'm looking for advice on getting into the TCG. Sorry, this is going to be a long post, but there are lots of thoughts going into this, and I'm looking for someone to help me narrow down this to a final decision. My advice to anyone that's looking to start the TCG is to play online. In terms of like learning the game, it's going to force you to play by the rules. Maybe watch some content. It doesn't have to be my videos necessarily of playing the TCG. There's a ton of creators that exclusively play the TCG and make videos about it. Kind of learn what's going on. Learn that you can do a lot of things per turn, and you want to do as many things per turn to get it set up as much as possible, as fast as possible. A lot of that is just like through playing, through like realize what mistakes you're making. But in terms of like finding out whether you want to get into the game, whether you like the game or not, the most affordable and best way to do that is to play online. Now, if you want to learn online and then you want it to be more of a social aspect where you go meet people, you want to go do it in person, you want to go to pre-release events are fun, very fun. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to get to as many as I'd like to. Maybe I'll get back to doing that someday. Pre-releases are fun, just events, Pokemon nights or whatever. You can go, you can trade, you can play, all that kind of stuff. I suggest everyone at least somewhat learn to play the TCG. If you're there's so many collectors that have never played the game that it's intimidating, but it's not that bad. You learn it, and don't be afraid of like going to a store, to a game store, to an event or things like that. There's always new people that are showing up there, so most people are very understanding. If you're not totally familiar with the rules, if you're a noob, it's okay. It's okay to be a noob. Most people are there and very much want other people to play with, so they'll help you out. For the most part, anytime I've ever seen it, no one has ever been like, "Oh, I can't believe you don't even know how to play. Get out of here." No, they're understanding. They'll walk you through it. They'll tell you and then just explain like, "Hey, I'm pretty new. Please let me know if I do anything wrong here." And as long as you're not confrontational, usually they're not going to be as well. They understand. They started somewhere too. So I'm from Pakistan, and surprise, there's no TCG scene, no locals, no regionals, and we don't even get included in most of the signups. That being said, there are a handful of collectors around here, but I'm not sure if it's relevant right now. I've been playing the Pokemon games for 24 years at least, and I used to have cards as well leading up to Delta species. Most of them were fakes, which I gave away around 2010. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And MTG for 20 and 5 years respectively, but I've lost flavor of playing them anymore, specifically because how expensive the game has become to play, even if I wanted to attempt to play it competitively. So yeah, this is where I'm going to say, like, if you don't have anyone to play with too, or maybe like you don't have someone to consistently play with, but you still want to keep playing, this is another reason why, like, hey, play the online game. Play live is a little bit better now. Again, it's not what it should be, but it'll get you there. And you'll always have an opponent to play against, and it's insanely affordable. You buy some code cards, even if you buy the code cards on eBay, even if it doesn't matter where you're located in the world, you buy some codes on eBay. If you're playing the game consistently, punch the codes in. You get dust in the new one, which adds up very quickly. You can build the deck that you want. You can try it out, and even then, even if you're building the decks in real life and you want to try the deck out first, do it online first, and then you can physically build the deck if you think it's worth it. Because sometimes a lot of those playable cards can be a little bit expensive. Pokemon, though, in general, building a physical deck, pretty affordable, and building a deck online, extremely affordable to the extreme. Around 2 weeks ago, I decided to look into the Pokemon TCG again, and one thing is for sure, it's definitely cheaper to get into than Yu-Gi-Oh! Or MTG is. That really drew me in. Seriously, it's costing me $140 to buy 8 cards to upgrade my deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can probably buy 2 to 3 full decks at that price. This is all just a precursor to the main point. Please bear with me. Yeah, even if some of the Pokemon stuff is expensive, typically there's like promo versions of whatever those expensive cards are that come out to make them more affordable. And then if you're not buying them right on release day when they come out in a set and it's the only copy, the only place that you can get it, and if it's kind of hard to pull. So my birthday is coming up in October, and my parents are going to be in the US around then. I figure it's a good opportunity to get some products since shipping here is a nightmare and expensive. Yeah, I mean, if you needed like singles or something like that, you might be able to convince somebody to send you some letter mail with the card that you're missing, or cards that you're missing, a few cards that you're missing for your decks. But in order to send anything that's like hefty, probably, yeah, pretty expensive. I've been wrestling with that, with what exactly I can get into the game and not feel like I'm lagging far behind, which is what I felt with other games as well. Here are my current considerations of looking into for some kind of input, get me into the game. So yeah, these like the battle decks and battle stadiums and stuff like this, pretty good. Build and battle stadiums, not so much. In terms of like collectors, if you want to open packs, there are some. You're gonna get some playable trainers in there, so those are pretty good. But like the League battle decks and the new EX battle decks, like those, getting a couple of those, very affordable. And you can get stuff like a Shin Pao, like a Mew, like Palkia, like all of this like really playable stuff. Oftentimes you'll need multiple of them because like the Shin Pao deck only comes with one Shin Pao. Like maybe you want 3 in your deck, so maybe you gotta buy 3 of these. But if they're only, I don't know how much they are, probably like 10 USD or something. And these ones might be a little bit more expensive just because, you know, Shin Pao being more playable, maybe more expensive. But multiple of these, pretty good. I mean, you could buy the single, but where he's kind of running into issues with buying additional cards. But yeah, Build and Battle Stadium, I don't think so much. Unless you want to open the packs, yes, you're going to get some stuff within those Build and Battle Stadiums, but I think battle decks are more the way to go. Now, my budget is around $300, $400, which I've saved over the last year or so. Yes, salaries here aren't the best to splurge on myself. These are all off Amazon because that's where I can get everything to my family without delays or issues, most likely. Now, I figure this would be good because I can build 3 decks, Palkia, Shin Pao, Ice Rider, Palkia, Mew VMAX, guaranteed, and can work out maybe a United Wings deck or some version of a Shadow Rider deck with the stuff I pulled from packs/decks. Yeah, with the like pulling stuff from packs, specific things that you need, probably want to avoid that. Especially if you're not mass opening something, you're not getting play sets of trainers or anything of the sort. So just be a little bit careful with that. I also considered grading SV, PAL, and OBF as booster boxes, but then I could not build a deck properly, probably, but it's likely going to be easier on luggage weight allowance on the way back for my family. So that's the thing too. You're going to end up with a lot of bulk here. Opening a single booster box and thinking you're going to build a deck out of it, like that's going to be even close to as good as some of this other stuff with the EX battle decks and things like that, it's not happening. Like, typically you're not going to get 2 of the same EX within one of these boxes. So, you know, trying to build a deck it's not feasible unless you maybe open a box. And even then, if you're going budget wise, this is a no-no. I'm looking for something I can get that will get me something playable, but also give me a variety of packs to open so I have the start of a good collection. Okay, so if you want the packs too, I would say buy singles, which is going to be hard to do in terms of like a good collection on a budget instead of opening the packs. Again, pack opening, fun. If you're having fun doing it, yes, you're going to pay extra for it. Are you going to expect the value of the packs, from the contents of the packs? You shouldn't. Yes, you can get lucky. You can all of a sudden pull something good out of a few packs. And yes, it feels like you can make money opening this stuff. But I can assure you, if you open enough packs, you do not make money. These are just some ideas that I have. I'm open to ideas that can help me get started in the TCG, both for playing and collecting. I really don't have anyone else to play with here that I know of, but I can figure it'd be a good way to have something ready to go since I'm working on immigration to the UK or Canada, hopefully sometime in the next year. So I would be able to play in locals and regionals. I've always had a TCG in my life since I was 7, so I'm looking forward to hearing any ideas and advice y'all have. So maybe get a couple decks, set up a couple decks, get some of these like EX battle decks, combine them together, make something a little bit better if you want to. It sounds like you kind of have a pretty good idea of what's going on and what's playable based on like what you're looking at here. But if you have no one to play with, if you don't think that there's even anyone that you can convince to play with you, I would say maybe just hold off on all of it, save your money, buy some cheap codes, play some PTCGL. If you aren't already, he doesn't mention that he is, so maybe he's not, but play online. Hopefully the internet connection and or overseas kind of stuff. Well, no, I'm sure you can connect to a game, but maybe also like limited in terms of like device and or internet connection, depending on what you have. Maybe try to find something that you can play the game online. If you don't have if you don't have an electronic, if you don't have a tablet that can play it, or a phone that can play it, or a laptop or a computer of some kind that can play it, it's not a very demanding game. Then yeah, it's hard to say exactly. So I guess we need more information. But buying the decks, if you have a couple playable decks that play well against each other, you don't have like one deck that's just going to stomp the other one the whole time that's like hits it for weakness or something like that, and you have some friends that would like to try it out. If you're playing those other games, maybe you have some friends that you can convince to play with you. But yeah, all situational. But online is it's usually the suggestion. If you're unsure if you like it, if you're unsure if you will like it, if you're learning, if you're unsure if you're going to have someone to play against, there's just online. You just hit play. You'll find an opponent. You play against them whenever you feel like it. Pretty wonderful thing that is the internet. All right, Red Strike says, got a Toploader, a binder for some of my old collection I found. People ask me about Toploader binders all the time. I think they're a waste of space. I think they're unnecessary. It's just overkill. I think already with my like side loading binder, double sleeving with those KMC Perfect Fits and Hypermats, I think that's already overkill. That's basically if you were playing with them in a deck. Single sleeve is probably fine, and a side loading binder. Binder's linked down below. I don't think they have top loader binders. The only thing that like I think maybe the top loader binder is worth it is if you were bringing this to like events, if you were bringing this with you all the time, but for some reason you had a bunch of valuable cards that warranted having them in top loaders. Maybe that's the play. Even then, like your card can shift out here and probably get pinched by the top loader. So maybe you'd have to like team bag the top loader as well to prevent the card from like coming out and getting like bent or like damaged coming out of the penny sleeve, out of the top loader and up against in here. So I was thinking maybe this is a good idea if you're for some reason you need to bring a binder with expensive cards in it, and it's got to be tossed in a book bag or it's going to be roughed around a little bit. You're traveling with it. Maybe that's a good reason. But essentially, I think it's just overkill. It's going to make it bulky. The same reason like graded cards, like, okay, if you want some graded cards, sure. But like once you get a serious number or a binder full of cards, you're limiting how many cards you can put in here, and the binder is going to be just absolutely massive. Top loaders in general, they get scratched up pretty easily. They're going to look like crap probably, but I mean, maybe if they're in the binder, they don't have that happen. If you guys have a top loader binder, let me know down below what your reasoning is for it. See, I think there's an application for this, and I think it's like if you're going to card shows and you're like selling and you have some like pretty valuable stuff and you're worried about stuff sliding out, but I mean, it still looks like they could kind of slide out or slip the card. I'd be more worried about the card sliding up and getting like pinched or coming out and getting bent, something like that. Probably wouldn't happen. Who knows? If you're keeping it upright, I guess too. But then at that point, it's just like if you're being that gentle on it, and it's not beating around in a backpack, and you're mountain biking, and you're getting tossed off your bike every now and then, because it's like some kind of crazy downhill adventure on the way to the game store or wherever you're bringing this. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the need. Now we have the Red Sniper who says, my GF pulled a Moonbreon in the Heavy Hitters Premium Collection. Damn it. I wish I could have said the same. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I ever opened the Heavy Hitters Premium Collection. I'm pretty sure that was it only Sam's Club in the US? Or Costco? I'm pretty sure it was US only. Regardless, damn it. F you, Umbreon. Took me, for anyone that hadn't seen or wasn't tuned into that, 3,711 packs to hit this little moon cat. Not impressed. Now, something wholesome for the final one of the video. I feel like this video is way longer than I intended it to be. We're at 42 minutes now. Oh my god, Ursa Ring. We have Sometimes Crazy with a 0 who says, got one of my all-time chase cards. Now I need the Teddy Ursa to go with it. Over the moon right now. This is cool. I like when people are not necessarily chasing the value of something, not necessarily chasing like they want a card because this is like, maybe it's their favorite artwork, maybe it's their favorite Pokemon, maybe it's the favorite artwork of their favorite Pokemon. Either way, very cool card. Yes, for a common, it is pretty expensive. It's probably like $5 or something. Again, not expensive in comparison to a lot of the other stuff, but for someone to be like excited about a $5 card because it was their chase, enough to like take a picture of it and put it on Reddit. I think this is super wholesome. I think more people need to take a look at cards for what they are and whether they like them or not, more so than the value of them. Yes, there is something alluring about like something that's hard to pull, something that's got like a crazy stuff going on, something that's super valuable and everyone wants. But it's nice every now and then to see someone that that's pointing out something that not typically a thing. Not a whole lot of people posting about this. So I thought we'd end it off with that. All right, thanks for joining. Make sure you guys hop on into the Discord if you're not there already. We would love to have you in there. You're very welcome. Make sure you guys look out for each other out there. Remember, not only we're gonna get rid of the bad guys, we're getting rid of the bad guys one at a time, several at a time. But also we gotta look back and appreciate what we have here. This is an awesome hobby that everyone can enjoy, regardless of budget. Remember, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon here. Stay with it. Don't burn yourself out. Make sure you're doing what you enjoy. Try out the TCG. Try out collecting. Buy some inexpensive stuff. Open some packs. Do all kinds of fun stuff. Spread it out. If you get tired of one area of things, kind of get into something else. There's so many things to do within Pokemon. And if you haven't experienced all of it, I suggest you at least dip your toes, dip your dogs in some of it. See you next time, guys. Look out for each other out there. Bye.